Welcome back to the Mama Ray podcast. I'm your host, Mama Ray, and today I'm opening up about something deeply personal. How mushrooms, yes, mushrooms, have helped me avoid pharmaceutical medications for depression, ADHD, and anxiety. If you're here, you might be curious about alternative ways to support your mental health. Or maybe you're just looking to understand how these natural remedies can work. Whatever brought you here, I'm so glad you're listening. Before we dive in, I want to clarify that this episode is based on my personal experience and research. It's not medical advice, and if you're considering making changes to your treatment, please consult with a healthcare provider. Now, let's jump in. What are medicinal mushrooms? So let's start with the basics. Medicinal mushrooms and adaptogens, what are they? Medicinal mushrooms like lion's mane, reishi, and chaga have been used for centuries in traditional medicine practices like traditional Chinese medicine and Ayurveda. These mushrooms are known for their powerful health benefits, especially when it comes to the brain and mental health. Adaptogens, on the other hand, are natural substances like ashwagandha. And I hope I said that correctly. I always get all tongue twisted when I say that. But that helps the body adapt to stress. Think of it as nature's way of balancing your system. How mushrooms work in the brain. Here's where it gets exciting. These mushrooms and adaptogens don't just make you feel good. They actually help repair and support your brain. Take lion's mane, for example. This mushroom contains compounds that promote neurogenesis, which is the growth and repair of nerve cells. So for someone like me with ADHD, this has been a game changer for focus and clarity. Reishi, often called the mushroom of immortality, is amazing for reducing stress. It lowers cortisol levels, which is the hormone that your body releases when you're stressed. And ashwagandha, let's do it. Let's all do it together. Ashwagandha. Ashwagandha. You know what? We'll work on it. We'll continue to work on it. But before we go off the rails here, it works beautifully alongside with reishi to keep me calm and centered, especially during those high anxiety moments. My personal journey. Depression. Let me start with depression. This has been a battle for me for a very long time. I felt like medication was the only option after I had my girls. I mean, I really have been raw dogging it through life without any medication. And I don't know how I've been surviving, but I have been. And it hasn't been a simple or easy journey either. But after having children, I needed to be less self-centered in that way. I had to be more selfless, and I had to, kind of find a way to handle my symptoms of depression. But every time I thought about starting an antidepressant, I hesitated. I wanted something natural, something that worked with my body rather than altering it. That's when I discovered Reishi and Chaga. Reishi helped me feel less overwhelmed, like I could breathe again. And Chaga, it's like an anti-inflammatory, and its antioxidant properties gave me more energy and focus. Together, they've been a lifesaver. ADHD. Now, ADHD, if you're neurodivergent like me, you know how hard it is to stay on track, especially when your mind is constantly bouncing between ideas. For years, we thought I'd eventually have to rely on stimulants just to manage it. But lion's mane changed that for me. It sharpens my focus and gives me mental clarity without crash that I used to fear from medication. It feels like my brain is finally working with me instead of against me. Now, I do want to throw out there that I have given other medications a try when it came to ADHD, and there was a lot of side effects that it just didn't feel right. It didn't feel right to put myself through that. Anxiety. And finally, anxiety. Anxiety is tricky because it feels like it just creeps in out of nowhere. But in reality, it's a buildup of stress and imbalance. That's where Reishi and Ashwagandha have been my go-to. Reishi keeps my stress levels manageable, while Ashwagandha calms me down when I feel that familiar tension building up in my chest. Together, they've helped me avoid the need for anti-anxiety meds, which has been a huge relief. Science behind the mushrooms. I know this sounds amazing, but what's the science behind it? Here's a quick breakdown of how these mushrooms work. Lion's mane. This mushroom stimulates nerve growth factor, NGF, a protein that's critical for brain health. It helps with memory, focus, and even repairing damaged neurons. Reishi, known for its calming effects, Reishi balances cortisol and boosts your immune system. It's like a reset button for your stress response. Chaga, packed with antioxidants, fights inflammation and oxidized stress, which are linked to depression and brain fog. Now, Ashwagandha, this adaptogen is incredible for reducing cortisol and balancing hormone, which is crucial for anxiety management. Then, Cordyceps. Now, this mushroom increases oxygen flow and energy levels, making it perfect for days when you need an extra boost. Breaking the stigma around natural alternatives. I want to address something important. There's often a stigma around natural remedies. People assume that if it's not prescribed by a doctor, it can't possibly work. But here's the thing. Natural remedies like these mushrooms have been studied and used for centuries. They may not be a one-size-fits-all solution, but they're absolutely worth exploring. It's all about finding what works best for your body. Tips for getting started. If you're interested in trying medicinal mushrooms or adaptogens, here are some tips. First, start small. Add one mushroom or adaptogen to your routine at a time to see how your body reacts. Second, research brands and look for high-quality supplements from reputable companies. Third, be patient. These remedies take time to show results, and it's not an overnight fix. And fourth, consult a healthcare provider, especially if you're on medication or have underlying health conditions. To wrap up, I just want to say how grateful I am to have found these natural tools for my mental health. They've given me a sense of control and empowerment I never thought possible. If you've tried mushrooms or adaptogens, I'd love to hear your experience. You can email me at mamarae@mail.com. That's MAMARAE @mail.com. Or simply leave a comment here, or connect with us on Instagram at rae.DARP. And if you're curious about getting started, I'll link some resources and brands I trust in this show notes. Thank you so much for joining me today. Remember, your mental health journey is your own, and there's no one right way to navigate it. Until next time, take care of yourselves and each other. Bye for now.